Matthew Bryza is a senior fellow at Atlantic Council and a former U.S. ambassador, and he joins me now live from Naxos in Greece. Thank you so much for being with us on the program, Matthew. Now, what are your thoughts? Do you believe that the West is entering a new Cold War with Russia? Is that a fair assessment to make?
Well, it depends on how you define Cold War. I mean, this is a hot war. This is a war chosen, a war of choice by Vladimir Putin against a completely non-provocative, sovereign, independent country, which its only precedent in recent centuries is Hitler's invasion of Poland in 1939. And by the way, at that time, much of what is now Ukraine was Polish territory. So this is an eerie repeat of history. This is a hot war, though. For the United States, it's not, of course. The United States, as Ubay described in your package, has been providing enormous amounts of weapons, finally, to Ukraine to allow Ukraine to try to repel the unprovoked aggressor. But your question is really, are we heading into a period of prolonged, sustained tensions between the West and Russia? And I think the answer is absolutely yes. The United States so far has led the NATO alliance and beyond, and Japan and other countries in recognizing that the only way Putin will stop is to stop Putin. He will keep going. If he is able to gain control of Ukraine, as he tried to do last February when he wanted to decapitate the leadership in Kiev, he will keep going. Moldova will be next, followed by Georgia. So, the transatlantic family has decided that they need to stop Putin now. And so it's a period of serious tension that shows no sign of abating.
And what does this mean for the global economy? I mean, we see the effects that Russian gas is having. Are we going to see new alliances form with Russia as well as with the West?
No, I don't think so. I think President Putin was banking on that. Well, we have seen, the China-Russia relationship strengthen a bit in terms of China buying a lot of Russian oil, and India is also buying a lot of Russian oil. But we also see the transatlantic family maintaining unity, and the European Union now adapting and preparing never to buy any more Russian gas again. So that's not an alliance that involves Russia, that's an alliance against Russia now. But I totally agree with you that this winter is going to be difficult. And if the temperatures are really low, there are going to be factories shutting down in Europe, especially in Germany, and that will test the unity of the alliance. But so far, even in Germany, public opinion is strongly in favor of moving away from needing any more Russian gas and shifting then the energy mix toward renewables as quickly as possible. But still, there'll be a need for gas for some.
Right, and where do you think countries like Turkey and Israel, who has had quite a balanced approach, stand if we do indeed go into that new phase of a Cold War?
Well, I think there are huge political liabilities for both in looking too much like they're identifying a moral equivalency. As Ubay said in the package, he said, well, Putin claimed that the West was planning, or the U.S. was planning to attack Russia from Ukraine. That's pure Russian propaganda and talking points. Of course, the United States and NATO have never had a plan to attack Russia, but Putin uses that to great effect. And so, if you don't choose one side or the other, I think you end up really weakening yourself politically, internationally. Now, Turkey, however, has chosen sides. It's chosen to condemn Russia's invasion. It's chosen to condemn the annexation of Crimea and call for the restoration of Ukraine's territorial integrity, even while doing the very important work of brokering an agreement to free up the grain that had been blockaded by Russia. And I think NATO is seeing Turkey as a very important mediator in that role, even though Turkey's sort of playing both sides. Rather than Israel, maybe focus on Hungary. Hungary is even more playing both sides, but Hungary is following a Hungary first policy. It's getting more gas from Russia at this point, and not imposing sanctions on Russia, but not doing any of the helpful diplomacy that we see from Turkey.
Okay. All right, Matthew Bryza, thank you so much for joining us here on the NewsHour. It's always a pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah, I'm honored to be with you. Thank you.